What's up, everybody? It's Austin Bailey with Bailey Renovation Construction. As you can see around me, I did a video in this room been about a month and a half ago, I guess. I was in the demo stage. From the demo stage, I went to electrical, then plumbing, made sure that everything up here was ready to go, and then I had my drywall delivered. And as you can see around me, I have 3 rooms left. Well, not really 3 rooms. I got a pantry, a scuttle hole for a fridge, and a bathroom left. And my whole upstairs is white boxed. I'll tape it, and then I'm gonna be moving downstairs to get that white boxed and taped. So with that being said, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a video of my drywall bags and what I carry in them, what kind of bags they are, where I got them, about how much they cost, and the tools that are in them, and about how much they cost, and what I carry, you know, day to day as I'm hanging sheetrock. Now, I'm not a professional drywaller. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I'm not a professional drywaller. I don't hang drywall for a living. I'm a carpenter, but I like to save money when I'm doing my renovations. I like to save money, you know, so I don't have to pay so much in labor. I have hung drywall over the years. I've framed, I've done a little bit of electrical. So where I can save money, I save money. You know, plumbing is not one of my things, so I had a plumber come in and he reran all of my water lines. They were old copper lines. I had it all ran into PEX for here. I had a lot of old lead drain lines, waste lines turned from steel and lead to PVC, as much as I could get done, you know, without having to rip out and spend a whole bunch of money to get a whole entirely new plumbing system. The original stack is still there, but there is some new PVC on top of it to make it a little more efficient, make it drain a little bit better. So anyway, I can do another video on about how much a renovation like this costs in another video, but today I just wanted to do a video on my drywall bags. What I carry in them. But basically, they're 2 of the same bags. There are no differences between this side or that side. It's just the hammer loop. One's in the front and one's in the back. If you carry your hammer on your bags, I personally don't. I carry mine in the back, whether it be framing, doing electrical, or hanging sheetrock. I always have whatever set of pouches I'm wearing, because I have 3. One for doing electrical work, because I take it a step at a time. I'll demo, then I'll go into electrical, then when I'm done and all my plumbing's done and everything, I do my insulation, and then I hang my sheetrock, and then I finish all my own sheetrock. But so let's see. I'll do my tool side first, and there's not many tools you carry as a drywaller rather than a framer. There's more tools that you carry as a framer than you're gonna as a drywaller, and you're gonna see that. Especially a person who flips houses. In a person's framing bags who flips houses, they carry a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of stuff more than what a residential framer is gonna carry in his bags. But anyway, starting from the bottom up, this is a 4-tier pouch, which means it has 4 pockets from here down. And at the very bottom, I have my Stanley Fatbacks 25-foot tape measure. I carry these whether I'm framing, drywalling, whatever I'm doing. I at least have a 25-foot tape measure. I do have a 35 and a 40 in my truck if I need it, and that's just for layout, for truss layout, floor layout for joists. If I'm framing new construction, I'll get those out of my truck. But for the most part, I just have a 25-foot Fatmax. Up from that, I carry a mini chalk box. It's very light, holds a little bit of chalk. It's enough for if I have an angle. In these old houses, the ceilings aren't always straight and level. So I'll measure one end, I'll measure the other end. Sometimes it's a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch difference. But I want to make sure that's tight against the ceiling, so I measure one side or the other and then snap a line and cut that and break it off. So that's what I have a chalk box for. A knife. This is a fixed blade wallboard knife. If you're going to be hanging a lot of drywall, you need to get a fixed blade knife. Those retractable ones, the drywall board gets cogged up in them and they won't retract anymore. A fixed blade, you don't have to do it. You just have to be a little more careful with these. I mean, you don't want to be carrying it around and stuff like that. You know, So wallboard, fixed blade knife. It'll hold about 10 blades on the backside of it, so you don't have to carry around a bunch of razor blades with you. But I think this thing, tape measure, chalk box, and fixed blade wallboard knife. I think this was the most expensive part. This I think was 10 bucks. This was I think $6. This was your $30 tape measure, $29.99. I usually carry my phone in this pocket right here, which I'm videoing you so you can't see, but up here in this top pocket I carry two things. I carry my wallboard keyhole saw or jab saw, whichever one you want to call it, and basically it is what it is. It's a keyhole saw. It's for cutting, you know, if you need to poke a hole in a piece of drywall for a wire to come through, stick your keyhole saw in there, rotate it around. It's basically what a lot of guys use this for. You can use it for cutting some rough corners out around a window if you need to. They don't really use them for outlets anymore. Now, I do. I'm still a little old-fashioned. I don't hang enough drywall to worry about buying a rotozip. So what I do is I cut all my own outlets out with a keyhole saw. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but in reality, I can cut it out, lay it on there, screw the sheet completely off, and I don't have to worry about it once I'm done with that sheet. I have used rotozips before. They are good if you're hanging drywall all the time, every single day. I just don't feel the need to go rent a rotozip every time I need to do a drywall job. If you measure close enough and you measure on, you know, where you need to be, you will get close enough to where the plate will cover the outlet, okay? Just take your time, take a few extra minutes, measure out the outlet properly, and you'll be just fine. You'll get close enough. So the other tool that I carry, it's a multi-driver, but the back side of this in here is stuck. So the back side of it's not even there anymore. So I just carry a two-sided screwdriver, basically, with an interchangeable bit. One's Phillips, one's flat. Phillips side I use to torque down screws. Flathead side is to change the blade out on my fixed blade knife. So most of your fixed blade utility knives, as I throw it on the floor, are going to have a flathead screw. Rather than your other ones, the cheaper ones will have a Phillips head screw. I've had 3 or 4 of these fixed blades. They mainly come in with a flathead screw. So those are those two pockets, and that's basically all I carry as far as tools go. I mean, I have a few back here, so I guess I can go, you know, I'll do that at the end. But starting over here, I carry a few tools over here. Like I said, I don't carry a whole hell of a lot, but on this lower pocket, I carry 2-inch construction screws. That's if I need to put a piece of backer on. Say, you know, in these old houses, these walls don't exactly lay out the way they're supposed to be, you know. So, because back then, it was just kind of a free-for-all. Everybody had an idea. Everybody wanted to have the best idea to build these homes, and nobody had a great idea, so these things were kind of cowboyed together. So sometimes you have to put backer on walls or next to a stud because it just doesn't lay out so-so. Okay, also walls and stuff, floors being out of level, it's very hard to hang sheetrock if you don't have some furring strip to put backer on there for you to help you hang your drywall. So keep that in mind. That's why I carry 2-inch drywall screws. Yeah, that's why I carry them. In this other pocket, this is the only other fastener I carry on me while I'm drywalling, and it's 1¼ drywall screws, just regular black 1¼ drywall screws. There's no strength to them whatsoever. They got enough strength to hold wallboard, and that is it. I see guys using these 3-inch drywall screws for construction screws. Stop it! Don't do it. They don't have, these things are so brittle. They don't hold dexterity. They don't hold. They're not rigid at all. If you take drywall off a wall and you pull your hammer out and go across it with your hammer, it's gonna snap right off. Construction screws have some flexibility. Now they're not as flexible as a nail, okay? But stop using these things for construction screws, okay? See a lot of guys using 3-inch construction screw, 3-inch drywall screws for construction use purposes, screwing wood together. Stop it. They're not meant for that, okay? A 3-inch construction screw is if you're hanging 2 layers of 5/8 wallboard on the ceiling, or 3 inches of 5/8 wallboard on the ceiling, which you may have to do in an elevator shaft, or you may have to do in a big custom home with a big garage, okay? So stop using them for construction screws. They're meant for drywall only. That's why it says it on the box. Drywall screws for drywall, construction screws for wood. Stop it. All right, on to it. I have my drywall rasp here. This is by Marshalltown. You can pick them up at Lowe's. You can't pick the all metal ones up anymore unless you go to a drywall specialty store. So I don't like the little foot pedal ones. They're too coarse and they don't really give me a smooth edge on the drywall. So Marshalltown makes these and they're great. They're open on both ends. They don't get clogged full of dust, so your pouches stay relatively clean. But so I think this costs like $7, I think. Up from that, I do carry a speed square, or a triangle, whatever the hell you want to call it. Virtually a triangle, not a square. But I don't know why they call it that. It's only a quarter of a square. But anyway, I do carry one, and that's for when I got outlets up on the top of a piece of drywall, and I mark close to the top. I just pull that out and mark down or whatever if I need to. I use it for a few other things. You know, you can use it as a marking tool, you know, stuff like that. But you always need a speed square. It'll help you find angles. You know, if you've got a vaulted ceiling, you can use this to help you find the angle. You always need to carry a speed square with you, no matter what kind of construction you're doing. Okay, so carry one, or you'll be asking for one. Another thing I carry is a torpedo level. Now I might get some negative comments on this one. Why are you carrying a torpedo level when you drywall? Well, here's the deal. Like I said, I cut out all my own outlets. I don't use that cutout tool. I've, over the years of hanging sheetrock, I've learned to get close enough to cut out close enough to where I don't have to spend a fortune in repairing some outlets. Now, yeah, there's that one-off chance that you're going to have 1 or 2 outlets throughout the house that you're going to have to repair. You know, but it's not every one. If you take the extra time, the extra few seconds to make sure you get a good close measurement, write it down, transfer it to the sheet, make sure you got your measurements on your mark, and cut it out, you will be just fine. And that's what I use this for. If it's in the middle of a sheet, it's kind of hard to reach and scribe, so I use this. Make sure I got it on a level surface, I mark it on all 4 sides, cut it out, hang the sheet, I'm done. That's all I use this for. Sometimes I don't use it, sometimes I use it, but that's it. Here, these are also my siding pouches. I carry these when I'm hanging siding, so I need a torpedo level when I'm hanging siding for those little small spots. On my front left, because I am a lefty, well, I write left-handed, and that's the only thing I do with my left hand. Everything else, I hold fasteners and swing a hammer, use a drill. You know, most of my other tools I use with my right hand. Left, I'm just one of those weird guys. But anyway, 2 pencils. Doesn't matter what you're doing in construction, whether you're hanging sheetrock, whether you are doing electrical, whether you are doing plumbing, whether you are, I do know a few plumbers that wear tool belts. My nephew, he wears a tool belt while he's doing his plumbing. It's just easier. He's got his tools on his hips. But anytime you're doing any type of construction, you need to have 2 pencils, because you're going to break the lead on one, and nobody wants to watch you sharpen your pencil or wait on you to sharpen your pencil. So if you break the lead, tuck it back in your pouch, grab your other one out of your pouch, and go on. And then whenever you are able to take a break or you get a second, quickly sharpen your pencil and go on. That way you always have 2 sharp pencils. Now, another thing guys will do is they'll carry 1 pencil and they'll sharpen both ends. That's great and all, but when you snap off both ends, you're kind of screwed. So carry 2 pencils. All right. Now on this back side, I have a circle cutter. You can pick this up at Lowe's in the drywall area. where all the screws and usually some of the tools, they're usually by the rasps and things like that. But it's a circle cutter. You're gonna need it for plumbing, okay? You're gonna need it to cut circles. Nobody wants to go in a house and see a bunch of boxes around plumbing pipes. Buy a circle cutter, use it, and you'll be just fine. You can sometimes get away with a rotozip, but be careful with the rotozip. It is plastic, okay? Just be mindful. If you accidentally poke a hole in an electrical box, it's not a big deal. You poke a hole in a plumbing line, you're screwed, okay? So get a circle cutter, use it for when you're in bathrooms, in kitchens, things like that, and you will be just fine. And that goes right back there. I do have a chisel. This is a 1/2-inch chisel. Don't really use it for much, but I've always found the need if I have, sometimes when you're doing these old houses, on some of the studs where the butt joints were, you'll have some mud. You can scrape that off if you didn't get it during demolition. So I carry a 1/2-inch chisel for that reason and that reason only. But yeah, that's basically it for the tools. I do have 2 back here. This is my DeWalt Impact. I put a Dempler on it. And they're great. Demplers are the way to go in my opinion. Hanging what little drywall I hang, I didn't spend the money on an expensive belt-fed drywall gun. Just didn't see the reason or necessity to have one. So when they make perfectly good Dempler bits, and you can hang just drywall just fine, you know. It's no different than having a drywall gun that sets drywall screws. This goes on your impact, and it sets the screw. That's the screw for newbies or DIYers that want to hang drywall. There you go. It sets the screw. There is no reason. Yeah. Sets the screw, same depth every time, doesn't break the paper. Okay, drywall guns will come out of adjustment, and you gotta always constantly adjust them. You might break the paper, but anyway. And lastly is my drywall hatchet. Now, a lot of drywallers carry these. Some guys don't. Some guys carry claw hammers. These are great. You got an axe side. You also have a little nail puller here. If you're using nails, you can slide it down and use this as leverage to pull the nail. And all drywall hammers are waffle face. Now, I like the wood handles. Some guys carry the stilettos. This one's by Marshalltown. You can pick it up for 20 bucks at Lowe's. You don't need an expensive drywall hammer to hang sheetrock. Now, if you're doing it professionally, like me, whenever in framing, and you know, I have a stiletto hammer that I carry, but I don't do enough drywall to constitute spending $120 on a drywall stiletto. So with that being said, I spent 20 bucks on this. It's perfect. It does what it needs to do. It's above this head sits about a 1/2 inch above the plane of the axe. And for that reason is you can get right up to the ceiling there without scraping your hammer on the ceiling. And that's why it sits higher. You can see the head of that axe sits higher than the rest of the hammer. As I throw it on the floor again. But anyway, I'm rambling on. So with that being said, guys, these are my bags. This is what I carry in them. As you can see, I've hung this house just fine with what I have on me. These are the tools you need to be carrying if you're going to drywall. If you're going to drywall for a living, or if you're just going to drywall for yourself, you need to at least have these tools, and you need to get a set of pouches or a pouch and have them in there. Okay? If you show up to a drywall job and you don't have the tools you need, you're not going to be a very productive worker, just like you wouldn't be as a framer. So get it. These set of pouches are, these are McGuire nickels. I think I spent $20 on both bags for each side. You don't need nothing more expensive than that to hang sheetrock. Okay? Holds plenty of screws. Even if you're not carrying 2-inch screws and all you're doing is screwing off as a cub, and all you're carrying is 1¼ inch screws, you're going to need a lot of screws. So these two lower pouches on my left side, where I grabbed my fasteners from, you can fill it up with 1 1/4 screws. It'll last you up until lunch, and then you can fill it up again when you go back. Make sure you have a pouch. Get the tools you need, put them in there, put your pouches on. When they feel good, go to work. That's the main thing. That's what guys want to see, okay? Guys don't want to see, hey man, I don't have all the tools I need. Now, don't get me wrong. If you come into the job and you've got a set of pouches, you've got a tape, you've got a tape, pencil, knife, hammer, that's basically all you need, okay? You don't need everything that I'm carrying in here. You know, if you show up, you don't have a circle cutter, it's not that big a deal, you can probably borrow one, but the old saying would be, is if you borrow a tool twice, you need to go buy it, okay? So if you borrow a guy's speed square more than once, you need to go buy one. They're like 12 bucks. They don't cost much. If you borrow a guy, if you're in a bathroom, they stick you in a bathroom, which is a lot of the time where beginners will start. They go closets, bathrooms, and then they work their way into bigger rooms. Just because the sheets are easier to handle, they can learn the just and the way drywall goes up. But if you're using a guy's circle cutter more than once, go buy one. They're like 8 or 9 bucks. They don't cost much. If you see a tool that a guy's carrying that you don't have, ask him where he got it, ask him how much it was. That next week when you get paid on Friday, go buy it. $8 is not going to break the bank. None of these tools in my pouch are going to break the bank. Honestly, I probably got $150 worth of tools sitting there. That's it. That's not like my framing pouches. My framing pouches, those are a little different. But I did frame for a living forever. So, to kind of give you an overview of what my pouches look like. That's basically it. And then you can see my drywall hammer hanging there. But that's it, guys. You know, if you want to get into the drywall trades, I think it's a good thing. I think it's something that, you know, everybody needs to at least learn. You know, owning a house to repair, you need to at least learn some sheetrock. But that's all I got. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. And if you liked it even more, hit the notification bell. I'm always putting out videos, or I try to always put out videos. So if you like what kind of content I put out, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.